Aloha, all you cosmic souls out there, wherever you find yourself in the world. Welcome to God Chosen Cosmic Melodies. I pray to God that everyone is staying prayed up, cleansing your energy and protecting your energy on a daily, frequently. Cleanse that frequency, because as we know, the dark principalities are at an all-time high in the times we're living in today. So we must combat that with our angelic frequencies. And he agrees. Clearly he agrees. So remember, guys, we are never alone. And I have a pep in my step because God has put all this energy within my heart to come back on for another revolutionary, evolutionary message for the people. I am called to transmit this message from the higher realms through my vessel out into the world. So these glasses, I'll sidetrack really quick. These glasses, I love them, but I don't like the brand of them. But the style, yes, it's giving. So I was thinking, okay, so I had a vision last night, and I had a channeling and a message that came in about how this AI thing that's happening, they're trying to have us, like, they're trying to inject this misleading message that we are connected to the Greys and the ETs. But the reason why it's false light misteachings is that they're trying to say that, you know, Jesus and our roots come from them. But really, I feel like God put it in my heart and gave me a vision and how it's misleading us away from the true light, that we get this wisdom and higher genius, new age information, not from the Greys. We get it from the Most High. We get it from the interconnection we have from the universe, the Most High, the invisible intelligence of all that is Alpha and Omega, God source energy. The universe is quantum. We know that. And so all of us, we are quantum too. Our brain is a quantum brain. We essentially live in like a quantum brain. Like the whole universe is essentially like an invisible intelligence brain. And we are like cells in that brain. We are just as quantum, not to that same level, obviously, because we're just in human form currently, but we come from that quantum intelligence. And it doesn't come from ETs. And I realized that ET is a new age Satan energy kind of thing. It tries to replicate God and tries to pose as God. For example, they say that this higher intelligence comes from ET, but really it comes from God, and the ET new wave thing is trying to take credit for God's intelligence by us falling for the false narrative that this higher intelligence comes from foreign ETs, when really this higher intelligence comes from God's quantum invisible intelligence of all that is. So I really wanted to correct that false narrative, because malevolent ETs, or different dimensional life existence that is low vibration, has the ability to morph and change into whatever it wants to replicate the real light, but it's actually the false light. So it presents itself as, you know, the real thing, the higher intelligence of all that is, but it's not from God. It is from this realm. It's made up from Satan energies. So that's what came to me in my heart. And so I started to realize, oh, we have to be really careful in the times that we're living in today to be opening ourselves to be channeling ET kind of things, when really we should be focusing on just channeling the higher power, God source energy, and having our guidance and counsel come from the Most High, not from archangels or ETs, whatever you want to call it, or there's so many things that people channel these days, and some of it is helpful and some of it is really extremely misleading. And because lower vibrational agenda and Satan-like energies, the way that they confuse people and take you away from God is by having you question your true identity, having you believe a false narrative of your true identity in a child of God. Your true identity is, we are co-creators of the Creator. We are children of God. There's a science to this, and spirituality and religion. Even though religion has been manipulated over the times, there are still core truths and principles that stand the test of time. And so this wave of ET things, I feel like all of us at some point or another has fallen for it, me included, because it is portrayed as the real deal. And to be honest, I feel like the government is okay with pushing this stuff out and wanting people to believe this, more than a higher power. Can you believe this new wave that's come out? People are believing in ETs more than a higher power. That is ridiculous. I started to realize, like, with the vision and the message that God put in my heart, like, whoa, wait a minute. We need to stop ourselves right in our tracks and wake up to and pull off the veil that they're trying to pull over us. Because, with Elon being so invested in the AI, the future of AI, if you see things on the internet today, they have these like twisted new age stories about how Jesus came from aliens, or Jesus had a mission with the aliens, or whatever. I don't know. They're all this twisted stuff, and we just have to focus on our connection to the Most High and do our best to not get distracted with these different twisted false narratives, whether there's proof behind it or not. I think the most important thing is that we stay focused on the light and in our true origins of being a child of God, our true origins of being co-creators with the universe, with the Most High, with Alpha and Omega, with the Godhead, with the God source energy, invisible intelligence of all that is, and not have like a middleman. Like, channeling ETs is like having a middleman to you going straight to the source, which is the Most High. You don't need to channel ETs, archangels, or whatever it is that people are channeling these days, because then you are leaving yourself to be vulnerable to the middleman that you're channeling, instead of getting the information straight from quantum God source energy. So I really had to get that out. Like, that was really heavy in my dream last night, and in my visions and my guidance and my counsel. God counseled me to transmit this message to the people, to not have a middleman. If you are a channeler, do your best to not fall victim to having a middleman. You don't need to channel ETs. You can hear counsel and guidance straight from God source energy. So that is my recommendation. Take it or leave it. I really doesn't matter if people don't believe me or not. I just listen to God's guidance, and God's directing me to relate certain messages. So then I was down this trail of thought of the universe is quantum. We know this. Science proves it. It's we tap into the quantum field, and we're interconnected with quantum entanglement, the quantum mechanics, and the quantum physics. And this quantum universe and this realm, it's all interconnected. Our brains are quantum, like the quantum brain that we live in. This is phenomenal. We are miraculous. This is a miracle that all of this is even here existing. And we get the opportunity to be here to improve this world and leave it better than we found it. This is what we're all here for. And we need to use our quantum brain abilities to manifest this higher order, God's reign, the Most High, a higher power order in this realm. Because a higher power order is meant to work through each and every one of us to make the impossible possible through our quantum brain abilities. So I have a soul knowing, and I've known this ever since I was little, but I didn't know it to the degree that I know it now. I have a soul knowing that I have a heaven sent ordained purpose and a divine mandate that's meant for me to live out in this lifetime. I've known I had a mission ever since I was younger, and I would look around, at the grass and onto the outer world of like, what is this all for? Why are we all here? Why am I here? And I questioned that ever since a little girl. And then I got into a really bad accident at a really young age, and I woke up at a really early age, but then throughout life and programming and indoctrination, I did fall back to sleep like many others. I'm pretty sure many can relate to me. And, went through the reawakening process, the stages and phases that you need to go throughout your life journey. Not everybody will choose the enlightening path or choose to proactively be on their reawakening path, but I have. And of course, in and out of that, because sometimes when you wake up to certain enlightening things and you look around into the world and you see how low vibrational it is, it can be maddening, and it can be saddening, and it can be frustrating. But I am here to tell you, all the trailblazers that know what I'm talking about, we are not alone. We have the Most High. And so no matter how long it takes, or no matter how many trials and tribulations, we will rise up time and time again. I personally know myself as a phoenix, an ancient phoenix, and nothing and no one will ever keep me down, no matter how much they've tried. And they've tried plenty. And they're never going to win, because I know who I am and I know who I belong to. I am one in the Most High. I am one with God's source energy, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, and the science behind this, and the spirituality behind this, and the religion, and the soul knowing within me. And when I look out into the world, I know what I'm meant to do here, and making these videos is a part of that mission. It's just to transmit this energy, through the technology we have today, hopefully into many other souls that get the chance to see this video. Share this video with as many people as possible, and share this information like wildfire, so we can help other people in their reawakening processes too, because all of us, we're going through it. Okay. We're living through historical times today. This is a fact, people. Literally in 10 years from now, we are going to look back and we're going to be so relieved at the beautiful changes that we come to within 10 years. It is not going to be a state of famine the way that Elon wants it to be. It's going to be in a beautiful place, a more beautiful place than it is even now, because all of the light workers around the world are going to create this revolution from the inside out, and the darkness, the principalities in this realm are not going to win. We are going to push forward and fight in an internal fight, an energetic fight, a spiritual fight. This is a revolution we're living through, and we will not stand down, and we will win no matter what. But we have to go forward with this confidence and win every single battle that we have to win thus far moving forward. So with that in mind, I have this eternal now knowing. I am an eternal now soul that came back for this revolution. Literally, I woke up on a whole other level, not for nothing. This is not just for me. This is literally for the world. And I know that sounds grandiose. It really does, because, you know, anyone saying this would be anyone who feels this, I know for a fact, we go in and out of feeling like, but what can I do? I'm just one person. Well, what we can do is create a ton of energetic change that does affect the whole. Remember, we live in a quantum universe. We live in a quantum field. We live in quantum entanglement. Your interchanges, your awakenings inside all count. Every little revelation you have, every little bit of information, of enlightening information that is unique to each individual, is meant to help the whole through energy. So this is why that saying that says this the revolution, it won't be televised, is because it's in the spiritual principalities it's going down. Okay, the principalities are going at it. Not, let alone what we see happening in the White House and in the world, all the changes and everything and the injustice things. It's happening. Okay, and even more so on an energetic level. This is why we need more people waking up. Wake up, for the love of God. This is the time that we came for. This time, people who choose to be stubborn to their reawakening are going to deal with unnecessary suffering. So we need to be very proactive in our reawakening processes, in cleansing our energy fields and maintaining our energy centers cleansed and protected. So I started to, in my dream, the Pocahontas figure of the tree came up, and my dad called me Pocahontas my whole life, not for nothing. And like I said in my other video, I don't agree with the white man part of that movie. It's horrible, but I really resonate, not necessarily more so with Pocahontas. Yes, Pocahontas, because she's in physical form, but the wisdom of the tree. This is what my soul knows. I have an ancient futuristic knowing in my soul. The ancient tree wisdom, right? It's in all of us. We, as above, so below. We are one with all that is. And you know how there's a network of communication underneath in the root system. There's a documentary that talks a little about it, or a lot about it, about the fungus and the communication of the fungus on the ground, but also species underground, and even deeper, the roots of the trees. They communicate and they comfort each other. And then above, right, the trees are also communicating and comforting each other and trying to heal each other from above ground level. So as above, so below. But then take that concept to the universe, the intelligence of the universe bringing down into this realm. So we are the below, and the angelic Elohim realms are above us. So the above the ground is the Elohim angelic realms that we're meant to anchor down into our root system, which is in this physical realm. And so within, so without. So us activating this ancient wisdom that God has embedded in my soul and has embedded in every single one of us, because we have an innate knowing of God, whether people believe in God or not. It's just dormant. It's waiting to be activated, because it takes the person themselves with their free will to activate it, to turn to the faith, the belief, and even deeper, the knowing of where your true origins are, which is in God's source energy. And so when people tap back into the true origins in your brain and heart coherence, in your soul knowing, then we will start to see a faster pace of healing throughout humanity, and we'll start to win the war in the principalities sooner than later, because time is ticking, people. We don't have the plans that they're trying to enact. They're going full steam ahead, that to try to manifest a reality of famine, a timeline of famine. They're trying to manifest the New World Order dark hidden agenda, which is against a higher power plan. And they know that things are not going to be in their favor astrologically. That's why they're trying to go full steam ahead. But this is why we need to go full steam ahead with this ancient knowing, activate it, awaken to it, cleanse our energy centers and protect our energy centers to be able to live up to a higher standard that we're meant to be in, through being counseled and directed by the Most High, by the divine, by God's source energy. So I personally feel that from other lifetimes, I came back with an ancient shaman prophetess message and abilities to help this reawakening process throughout the globe and the grid itself, the earth grid. This is the power we have to create this revolution. This is why this part of revolution is not being televised, because they don't want people to wake up to this degree, because they're done for it as far as principalities. And once we get them in principality realm, in the angelic realm, in the energy realm, then little by little we'll start to see justice unfold in this realm. This is what we need to wake up to, and we need everyone higher up knowing this information and activating this information and being led through this knowing and moving forward in this knowing that we are guaranteed to win as long as we fight the battles with high intelligence, with as the highly intelligent beings that we truly are on a soul level. And so we're not fighting with violence. We're not dumb, okay? We are more intelligent than that. This is why this revolution, this psychological war, this energetic war is a new age. It is a new age revolution, because we don't need to fall down to the low vibrations and the tricks and the traps. They would want us to get violent, but we need to not fall for their tricks and their traps. We don't need violence. We need a highly intelligent beings fighting this fight in the principalities first and foremost, and then moving forward with a higher integrity and upholding justice in your personal life and in anyone around us that is trying to get away with unjustly things. So, and I'm talking on a small scale, medium scale, and a big scale. People higher up, most importantly, because they're making decisions that affect the whole humanity's realities. And so this is important to know so that we don't ever fall into fear. And if we do fall into fear, we snap ourselves back out of it time and time again, so that we win the battles that we need to win to get to that victorious place that is meant for us. This is my prophecy, and this is where I see the future headed. We are victorious, and no weapon formed against us shall prosper. And we need to move forward in the God confidence that God, the Most High, the Divine, gives us. So my soul, and I feel like most people can relate to this, I feel anciently young. So I have this ancient wisdom of like an ancient mother and father within me, but I am really young. I mean, like clearly you see me, like I'm happy inside. My youthful happiness has come back because by the grace of God, God has given it back to me, because this life, trials and tribulations, and indoctrination and programming, it tends to take away your inner joy and happiness that you had when you were a child, the joy and happiness that God gives us, that soul purity, joy and happiness that is meant for all of us. So I feel anciently young forever. So I'm young here, but ancient wisdom resides in my soul, and it's embedded in my soul, and nothing and no one can ever make me forget it or try to take it away from me. This is what I came back for, for this revolution that's happening right now, that's currently unfolding. Again, we're making history. We're living through historical times right now. And when we look back at these times in 10 years from now, we're going to be so proud of ourselves. All the light workers around the world tuning into our quantum brain abilities, our quantum brain power, our quantum brain superpowers, our quantum brain inner advanced technology that is meant to be used to win the war against the dark principalities in this realm. So I don't need anyone's approval when the divine, the Most High, God, source energy qualified me for this revolution. Just so everyone in the back that's ignorant and arrogant to my power that God gives me, I don't need their approval. I don't need anyone's approval, anyone higher up, anyone in the world. I don't need approval from humans. I already have approval from the divine, the Most High, and I am qualified as a child of God. So I don't need I don't I don't need acceptance, whether people accept it or not. I have God given abilities and God gifts that are meant to help the revolution that's unfolding in the times we're living in today. So I'm going to read what I said I was going to read in my previous video. It's called The Formulation. I read a part of it in one of my other videos, and I didn't read the whole thing on purpose. I only read like a little part of it. But after my most previous video, God was like, it's time to read the whole thing now. So these channelings came when I was younger, and I've had these visions and these dreams of like speaking to large amounts of people, millions and billions of people throughout the nation. And I doubted myself and would think, but who am I to try to lead, not try, but to be the lead in something so big? And I finally have overcome those doubts because God has given me the courage. And who am I? I am a child of God, and I am God qualified. So it doesn't matter whether people qualify me to be a leader. I am a leader in my own right, and so are you. Remember that. And when you feel small and you feel like you can't make a difference, snap out of it, because we are here to make a difference. This is the point of this whole life experience, because we all make differences in so many different senses, in so many different ways, and on a small scale, medium scale, big scale. No matter what difference you make, it counts and it matters, and God sees it. So please don't doubt yourself and wake up out of that doubt and overcome that doubt step by step with the Most High. And of course, other people encouraging you, because by the grace of God, God gave me the courage first. And then other people on the outside were like reminders of like, you speak out in your authenticity, you know, and so that's really helpful. So this is me doing that in return to anyone else who needs that encouragement. You have a voice, and your voice is needed now more than ever. You have an inner vision, you have an inner message that needs to be heard, and it's special to you. And this is why you're the one who needs to give that message. And this is why God implanted that message in you, because God needs you to send that message. Because just because people see my message and my message reaches certain people, it may not reach the people that other people can reach. This is why all of our voices count, and they matter now more than ever, especially with what we're experiencing on a global scale unfolding. All the light workers that feel scared to speak up need to speak up now more than ever. Speak your light into existence. Speak your message into existence. Our words have power. Our words are here to create the change that the world needs to see. We are the change that the world needs to see, and we create that change from the inside out through our words. Look, our words were in our brain, inside of us, and then we speak them out, and now they become alive and become a message to create change, the change that is meant to be made in this realm through us, the way that we use our senses and our God-given abilities and our God-given gifts. So this is called the formulation. I wrote this on July 12th, and I finished it at 12 p.m. And when I seen that time, I noticed it, and I just wrote it down to remind myself that those symbolic numbers it was like screaming out to my soul. So we are all eternal souls existing in a human experience, equipped with Christ within and soul intelligence from the Most High for the guidance and embodiment of personal and collective ascension. This is what we're here for ascension, not to be stuck in our lower chakra system, our lower chakra energy system that they want us in. They prefer us in to keep this realm energetically enslaved and not able to ascend, because everyone's energetic ascension counts to create the ascension of the planet, because we are all interconnected to the planet, and our electromagnetic fields are connected to the electromagnetic field of the planet. And this is how we upgrade the planet and this realm, through our electromagnetic abilities and interconnectedness and our symbiotic relationship and connection to the grid. So all of our inner ascensions creates the ascension that we end up seeing out in the world. So we with our conscious intentions, we have to assist ourselves in strengthening and maintaining change, patience, visualizations, and affirmations in our meditations. Because as we know, whether people want to agree with the VR virtual reality simulation concept, because sometimes that might seem too far out for some people, whether you believe in that part or not, it's proof. Science proves that our meditations, our visualizations and affirmations in our meditations create and change your inner environment, create change and actually accelerate change in your inner environment. They have so many studies and proof on this, and it changes your brain's atmosphere, and what you feel inside is projected outwardly, and then that creates your outer reality. Even if you're around people and things that it's like low vibrational, we are so powerful that we can create change in our outer reality, even in the worst of the worst situations, especially when more of us start to wake up to the superpower that we really have within our visualizations and affirmations in meditation. They need to be at a higher frequency, and we need to be doing this on a more consistent basis. So our inner work really counts now more than ever. Our inner work and our outer courage counts now more than ever to accelerate powerful transformations, new innovations, and manifestations. We manifest from our inner world. And this is why it's so important for people, even if they don't consider themselves spiritual, to wake up to this side of reality. This is not just spiritual, this is scientific. These are the facts. Whether you consider yourself spiritual or religious or not, the facts stand on their own. So wake up sooner than later, because we need everyone's energy field on deck to win the war in the principalities that we're facing today. We need to win over the darkness in this realm. The darkness principalities are trying to take over and keep the light suppressed and oppressed and enslaved, and then try to turn things around against a higher order. And we can't let that happen. This is why all of our inner work counts now more than ever. And we need to win the inner battle in order for us to win the external battle, the inner battle of overcoming our own shadows, confronting our own shadows. Now, we're never going to be perfect, but doing our best to consistently win that inner battle, it really does count. Because like I said, the quantum entanglement and this reality that we live in, you winning your inner battle can help someone else win their inner battle as well. This is why it really counts now more than ever. Even if you are in an environment where many people are losing the inner battle, and you can tell from their external life if they're winning that inner battle or losing the inner battle, because it will show in their life. If they're overcoming addictions, if they're overcoming their bad ways of thinking and feeling, it shows. It's all energy, and the spiritual part of life is what animates the physical part of life. And so when we all look at it through that light of truth, we will start to confront ourselves like, okay, my life looks like this and my health looks like this because I am not putting enough initiative and accountability to win the inner war. This is what it boils down to. We need to hold ourselves accountable throughout all of our imperfections and our mistakes. We need to keep holding ourselves accountable as much as possible. So in correlation and in alignment with this realization, we are limitless living aspirations. With this formulation, with this information, we are limitless. We can create the impossible is possible with the Most High. We can create the change that we want to see in the world at a faster pace. When we all realize this and come together in these realizations, in this light of truth, we can make alterations, modifications within building our inner foundation. We need to rebuild our inner foundations from the bottom up, okay? This is what it boils down to. These are the times that we're living in today. All the damage that has been done can be restored from the bottom up. We can restore the foundations of our inner world. We can make the alterations we need to make. We can make the modifications. We can make the changes within us, each and every one of us, because as above, so below, so within, so without. All of our inner changes create changes in the whole. Whether we get to see the changes or not, when you know about this energy part of life, you will know that you still count. Your changes does still count, even if you don't see that immediate change. God sees it. The quantum field sees it and feels it. There's nowhere none of us can hide from the quantum field. So we better start getting real with ourselves sooner than later, even throughout all our imperfections. So this truth can formulate inspirations for restoration, appreciation, preservation for the soul. So this truth is the formula to inspire us to restore ourselves, to appreciate ourselves more, to preserve ourselves, to preserve our soul in all of this, even through all the maddening, unjust things, even through all the pain and all the unfairness and all the, the low vibrational timelines of reality. We can use this inner formula to inspire ourselves time and time again, to restore ourselves, our mind, body, and soul, restore our brain and heart coherence, because the power is in our heart to create this change. Our heart has an electromagnetic field that goes out further than all of our energy systems put together. Not for nothing, people. This is how powerful we really are. And we need to restore this connection to our innermost truths, our heart and brain coherence connected to the Most High, to God's source energy, to the divine, to our divinity, to our birthright, to our true origins. We need to appreciate what we really are. We need to preserve what we really are, because this realm and the darkness in this realm has tried to purposely degrade what we really are, to distract us from what we really are, which is magnificent. We are miraculous, and we are able to create miracles in this realm through the truth of who we really are and what we really are, and the technology we have to create this change from the inside out. So to an ever-changing population, to the next generation, and through the whole nation, we can intentionally raise our vibrations by constantly, consistently living consciously without fear, with just love, the ultimate transformation in us. This is the ultimate transformation that is meant to change the world, literally. All of us connecting back to our truths, to our ancient origins, to our ancient futuristic truths, to our eternal now truth. The past and the future doesn't exist. All that exists is now, right? But obviously we know the past exists because we have history to tell us what to not repeat and the things moving forward that we have to change. We have a past for a reason, and we have a trajectory for the future for a reason. But we create all that change in the eternal now with our ancient wisdom, with the wisdom that comes from the Most High, from God's source energy. So we need to remember that we are all souls existing in human form, equipped with Christ consciousness and soul intelligence that comes from the Most High. I need to repeat that. So that's embedded within us, whether people are awakened to that or not. I personally know this with a deep, deep knowing that wisdom is embedded in my soul, and it's in me to transmit to the people for a reason, because I know that the changes in me count just as much as anyone else. And like I said, your changes count just as much as anyone else too. So please never feel small, never feel alone, because we are not small. We are magnificent miracles of God. We are children of God. We are co-creators of the Creator. We are not small. We have the ability to create big change in the world from the inside out. And so for the guidance and embodiment of personal and collective ascension, so part of my name, it means the roots of my name, the story behind my real name. I'm Love, but my legal name, because in astrology, your name makes a difference to who you can become. This is what some people believe. And not for nothing, my name is it was a plantation field, and the story of my name is that the rich family of this plantation field were doing wrong, and they were misusing their power, and they had the majority enslaved, and the daughter did not agree with that, and they purposely tried to kill the daughter because they wanted to take over. So they put her in a house fire, and one of the slaves, I know slave sounds bad, but this is an old story, so this is what it is. And we have modern day slavery even till this day, but it's different than it was then. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So the slave went in and saved the wealthy daughter, that she was going to be the next in line to be in charge, and they assumed that she died in the fire because the house was burnt down and they didn't find her. So she was raised in a poverty life, and then when she got old enough, she woke up to the realization that she was the next in charge. And this is a lot like my life story, actually, like my real life, that I was put back to sleep through indoctrination, and I woke up to the realization that actually I am one of the leaders to this new world of God's reign. Not the new world order of the darkening agenda from low vibrations, but the new world of God's reign, the Most High. This new world that is meant to be manifested through all of us light workers, star seeds, and healers, and God's children of the land. I came back for this revolution, is what I realized. And everybody, we all have different stages and phases of our reawakening, and just because we're awake to the degree that we are awake right now, we still have so many more stages and phases of the reawakening. So stay humble, people. This is what God reminds me all the time. I am humbled by the Most High every single day of my life. I am so thankful to have the opportunity to still be here to create this change for myself, first and foremost, in my inner world, and to be a part of the change on a global scale. So, because like I said, even if it seems like you're small and your message is not reaching enough people, God knows your heart, and we are interconnected through the quantum field. So you are creating massive change on an energetic level. I know that personally, for sure, in my personal life and in my personal transformations. And I don't need applause to know the grand change that I really am making on an energetic level throughout my own inner changes and revelations and enlightening journey and reawakening journey. So I speak into existence our future, a peaceful salvation. This formulation is inspiration for restoration, appreciation, preservation for the soul. Feel the sensation of illumination to an ever-changing population. Please tune in and feel the sensation of illumination within you. Feel yourself being enlightened and illuminated by God's counsel, God's cleansing, and God's protection, and God assisting and helping you in your reawakening process. So to an ever-changing population, to the next generation, through the whole nation, we can intentionally raise our vibration. I know I've read that already, but I just want to read it again, because this is really important for us to really, really tune into this. We can intentionally raise our vibrations by not falling for the false light tricks, by not falling for the fear-mongering tactics that they do, by remembering our power in where our attention goes, energy flows. So be wise in what you pay attention to, and the thoughts and feelings that you are entertaining, cancel out any low vibrational thoughts or feelings as consistently as possible. And by being consistent with living consciously without fear and just love, this is the ultimate transformation within each and every one of us and on a global scale. So that love frequency will cancel out the darkness in this realm, and that frequency of light and justice. We need to envision justice being had in this realm. This is the power that we have when we don't fall for the fear tactics, and we instead choose to focus our energy on believing and knowing that justice will be had throughout every battle that we need to win throughout the whole process of this revolution that's unfolding in the times we're living in today. That makes a difference. So we must maintain our connection to the Most High and our heart's connection to the Most High and each other. We must remember that they will try to divide us. They will try to divide and conquer us that's an old method. This is nothing new under the sun. They want to try to divide us through politics, through opposing opinions, but we need to not fall for their tricks. We are smarter than that. We are facing the principalities, and then in the physical realm, but not the physical realm first. It's first the principalities, because the energy, invisible intelligence, the spiritual realm energy animates this physical realm, and this is why we need to tackle the core of it. So even if we're not in the White House, all of us light workers can be calling judgment in the Elohim realms. We need to be calling judgment for justice in the angelic realms. Because while the people higher up in the White House are trying to work towards justice being had in the White House, we need to be doing that on an energetic, spiritual level. Our work in the angelic realms and the Elohim realms counts just as much as the work they're doing in the White House and trying to stand up in the light of courage, even against the fear tactics of the dark principalities of this realm. And so the principalities operating through humans, we must protect our mind, body, and soul now more than ever. We need to protect our electromagnetic fields and our heart and brain coherence. Our heart centers need cleansing and protecting on a daily basis, more than once throughout the day. Frequently cleanse that frequency. This is my new motto: frequently cleanse the frequency, because we need that reminder on a consistent basis, because sometimes we slack. We're all guilty of slacking on cleansing our energy fields because we don't realize the importance of winning that inner war through the principalities, through the cleansing of your energy. If you are not cleansing your energy, it's more likely that you're going to win the inner, or you're going to lose the inner battle. Like, so when low vibrational thoughts and feelings come up and make you feel like, oh, what can you do? It's just you. That is low vibrational injection of thoughts that are not even yours. That's not the truth of who you really are. So this is why when you cleanse your energy, you're essentially cleansing those low vibrational thoughts and feelings that don't belong to you in the first place. They don't belong to stay stuck in you, and they don't belong living out in you and through you, because you are taking accountability to maintain your spiritual hygiene, your energy cleansing and protecting. So we need to mentally train ourselves to constantly do this on a daily basis. We need to emotionally train ourselves to do this on a consistent basis. We need soul training. And the book that I'm in the middle of working on is a part of this training to help the people and tune into this higher vibrational wisdom on a consistent basis. So spiritual discernment, we need that now more than ever. Spiritual discernment, you're able to discern when people are telling you lies, and you know how to combat it accordingly without being reckless, without being violent, without being low vibrational, in a highly intelligent way. Because the way we win this spiritual war is through our intelligence, because they are using knowledge against us. People in secret societies and people who do wizardry, sorcery, those kind of things, you know, they do that in secret societies. And there's secret societies in secret societies, the higher in rank that you go. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is what it is, okay? Whether you believe it or not, you not believing it doesn't matter. That it doesn't take away from the fact that it's still happening. Okay, so wake up out of the ignorance and arrogance and the insomnia, or I was gonna say the amnesia. There you go. Wake up out of the amnesia of what's really happening on a soul level. Our spiritual discernment will protect us on a whole other level, and God guides us and counsels us and directs us away from danger with this spiritual discernment. People may call it intuition. They're both the same thing and have different degrees of depths to them, but intuition and spiritual discernment are one and the same, but separate but one. And so, and you know, spiritual discernment comes along with all of our other gifts, which is clairaudient, clairvoyant, claircognizant, and clairsentient. And there's other spiritual gifts that we all have, and it varies from person to person. And it's important for all of us to activate these gifts and have more spiritual discernment within these gifts, because when you have clairaudient and you're receiving guidance, you need to make sure that you're not receiving this guidance like from an ET, which is essentially a middleman from God source energy. You need to have spiritual discernment with your spiritual gifts and not be led astray by false light energies trying to inject and use your spiritual gifts against you and mislead you through your own spiritual gifts, because you are catching it on the spot and realizing your spiritual discernment and stopping any false light guidance that is trying to live out through you and through your gifts, and you cancel it out with the Most High, and you will feel that out through energy. It's, you know, and we get better and better at it as we go along. So this is why it's important to train your mental state, your emotional state, and your soul discernment to being able to weed out this false light guidance and this false light teachings, and continue to come back to the Most High time and time again, and choose to only get guidance from the Most High and no middleman on the face of this planet. No deity, no idol, no ET, no false light teachings should be in between you and the Most High. Okay, this is vital in the times we're living in today for people to wake up, because the misleading teachings are at an all-time high, and they're doing this on purpose. So then they want people to believe they're God themselves. They want people to believe that you should go to an ET for guidance and protection. No, this is wrong. Up, down, left, right, all around. Okay, because when you are tapped into your true spiritual origins, your soul knowing of who God is, who God really is, you don't need anything of this realm to give you the guidance that God can give you directly. You don't need a middleman, okay? Once God gives you guidance directly, and then other people, righteous people, people of a light, an actual light, people in a good vibration, and then you're getting guidance secondary, that's supposed to be secondary. But your guidance and your counsel is supposed to come from straight from God, source energy first, the Most High first, and then any guidance and counsel from this realm outside of you is meant to come second. Remember that. So please trust in your spiritual discernment, trust in yourself and your self-love, and trust in spiritual discernment, and trust in God first and foremost. And trust in the fact that your divine connection is more than enough to lead you the right way. And then, outside guidance comes second. So people must understand this. This is really important. We need to activate our spiritual discernment now more than ever. We need to reprogram ourselves from the inside out now more than ever. We need to wake up our souls now more than ever. We need to wake up our heart and mind coherence and our connection to the grid now more than ever. We need to cleanse our energy centers on a daily now more than ever. We need to activate. We need to activate our energy centers now more than ever. Oh, excuse me. So this, remember, our chakra system is the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, and the third eye, and the crown. This is the mainstream chakras that we talk about today, but they withhold a lot of information from us on purpose so that we're not ever able to rise up to the magnificent beings that we are meant to be, because we actually have 12 chakras and even further than that, 24, but science is kind of behind on that. Nikola Tesla and Einstein figured out things before science and people considered them crazy. And so to me, it's a compliment if anyone calls me crazy, because I realized advanced things, that God gave me this intelligence, the way that that Nikola Tesla and Einstein figured out very advanced things and people didn't understand them. But just because people don't understand me, it doesn't take away from the fact that I know what I know. And I'm here to spread this information as much as possible. As you can see, my page, I created it 5 years ago, and I purposely have followed some very intellectual people like the page Gaia, and along with other scientists. And I followed them on purpose in hopes that they would look into my page and see the truths that I put together in my page. And now, as you can see in the world, this is a new thing that a lot of people are talking about, the brain and the heart coherence and the connection we have to the electromagnetic grid. I'm the trendsetter. If you look at the dates and now people are talking about this, I created that page about 5 to 6 years back. So they're barely catching up to what I've been figuring out. And so, but bring it down to where it's more digestible to people. The 7 chakras, most people know about those, so we'll start with those. The root chakra represents our foundation and feeling of being grounded. This is why it's important to cleanse and protect your energy centers. Essentially, a lot of people are walking around naked. Their energy system is walking around with no protection. And this is what we all need to wake up to, that we need to not leave our energy body susceptible to these attachments that they want. This is why alcohol stores exist in every block, and it's called spirits, and not for nothing. It's because there's demonic spirits, low vibrational energies that latch onto your energy centers. This is the facts, okay? Whether people think it's crazy to talk about or not, I'm way past that part of reality. I don't care if people are too small-minded to comprehend what I'm saying. So, and I'm sorry for that insult, but really, some people are, you tell them the truth and then you're talking on deaf ears because they're not in the frequency to comprehend the frequency that you're speaking in. So this is for the people who don't comprehend in hopes to enlighten them. And then this is also for the people who do comprehend, to put some fuel in all of you all and everybody, to wake up. My videos are for fuel, to give you all fuel to help your enlightening paths, your stages and phases of your reawakening processes. Because I've been through it and I know what I'm talking about. So it is, so for the root chakra, it is open when you feel present in the here and now and connected to your physical body. The sacral chakra, which is orange, so the root chakra is red, and the sacral chakra is orange, and the sacral chakra rules your connection with your physical self. So, people, when they're all disconnected and whatnot, it's because there's something going on in one of their energy centers. And so when you're disconnected from your physical self, it's your sacral chakra. And this is why it's important to cleanse and protect your energy centers and how you perceive yourself. When open, you will have a healthy amount of self-worth and good relationships. So your solar plexus, and so wait a minute, pause. So when it's open, you have self-worth and good relationships. So when they're open and balanced, you get the good benefits of them. But when they're closed and imbalanced, this is when you see people having a loss of self, or falling into things that they wouldn't otherwise, because they're not cleansing and balancing out their energy centers. And prayer really helps in this, along with a lot of other modalities and methods. So the solar plexus, this chakra, strengthens your ability to be confident and in control of your life. When open, you will be assertive and feel comfortable in a group. So the heart chakra, so the solar plexus is yellow. The heart is green. This chakra increases your ability to feel love, kindness, and affection. And this is the heart center that the system and the elite people have tried to purposely cause pain, stress, and fear in the people to close our heart chakra. Because then people can't break out of suppression and oppression because their heart chakra is, along with their other chakras, are closed, blocked, and imbalanced and have low vibrational energy attachments feeding on our life force. And we need to cleanse those things off of us. They don't belong living out through us. They're foreign spirits that don't belong. They're blocking us from seeing the truth. They're blocking those low vibrational attachments, are causing people's downfalls, are causing people to be in a state of stress and distress and distracted from how the fact that they have the power to cleanse themselves from the inside out through the connection to the Most High, through our divinity, through our knowing of our power to overcome any imbalance, any attachments. We have the ability to cleanse and protect ourselves. This is how powerful we really are. No matter how much of a low that we've ever gotten to, we have the power to get ourselves out of anything. So when open, you will be more compassionate, friendly, and you will strive for more harmonious relationships. So the throat chakra is the blue. This chakra amplifies your skills of self-expression and communication. When open, you will excel in expressing yourself creatively. The third eye, this chakra enhances your ability to focus on insight and visualization. And it's purple. So when you open, you will have improved intuition. And this is why they put fluoride in our toothpaste and things in our food and whatnot to cause our third eye to be calcified. We know this. This is not anything new under the sun. And this is why it's important for us to come back to the realization that we need to cleanse and protect our energy centers so that we can step back into our power, the power that they don't want us to have, and in which is our birthright. So our crown chakra is the color of like violet, and this chakra represents wisdom and being one with the world. And so a lot of people, surprisingly, some people don't realize the oneness. They're fighting with people as if the other people are separate because their crown chakra is blocked to the truth of who we really are and how we are all one. And this is what the elites want. They want people's energy centers to be imbalanced, blocked, and stagnant, because then they're able to conquer and divide us, because people are not seeing clearly, because their energy centers are blocked and imbalanced. And so then they're living out in imbalanced ways. So when we open our crown, you are unprejudiced and more aware of the world and yourself. You are unprejudiced. So then it's less likely that they're able to pin us against each other. When people higher up in the White House and in higher positions like realize this part of reality and the responsibility and accountability they should uphold for themselves to cleanse and balance their energy centers so that they look out into the world as the oneness that it is, and they have unprejudiced and more aware ways of making their decisions from their heart center, from the guidance of the Most High, then we will see an acceleration of the improvement of this world. And so we don't just have those 7 chakras. We are actually 12 dimensional beings, and there's a science to this. So do your own research. I don't really care if people believe me or not. I know I'm talking with facts, and there's enough proof out there for you to go find for yourself. And so we have energy centers at the soles of our feet, along with our hands when you clap. And this is why in religions, there's times where you clap or you hold your hands together in prayer, and then this is how we're able to do Reiki healing and even healing from afar, because our energy centers are able to put out healing into the quantum field from someone far away and send them healing as well. But even not from distance, from up close, you're able to heal yourself and able to heal each other, even through just good thoughts. And there's scientific proof of this and how you create healing on a cellular level, on a molecular level, on an energetic level. And so the proof is in the pudding, guys. This is how powerful we really are. So we have our energy centers. There are 7 main energy centers, and then we have the ones at the soles of our feet, and then the ones that go down into the earth star chakra, because the earth is living and breathing just as we are, and it has feelings and an electromagnetic energy field just as we do, and it has chakra energy centers and an energy center, and our earth star chakra is connected to also our higher chakras. So we're 12 dimensional, and do your own research so you can really understand what I'm really talking about. I will get into that more in another video. And there's things that I won't be talking about in my videos that are in my book. So people will buy my book and enlighten yourself all that much more. So the 12, so we are 12 dimensional. We are actually 24 dimensional, but that's too far out for some people. So I'm going to keep it down to where people can digest it. I realize, because some people will believe, this is normal for people to have their own, outlook, believe or not believe. It doesn't really matter. The proof is in the pudding. And so in science, some people are having difficulty with believing that we live in a virtual reality, third density, virtual reality, matrix, simulation reality, because sometimes things are so far out that it's too far out for some people to really like digest it or comprehend it, and then we'll have disbelief. But just because some people don't understand that degree of understanding, it doesn't take away from the fact that it's true, or that you have tapped into that wisdom that not many other people have yet to tap into. And so, but the 12 dimensional information is out there, so do your own research. And so there's symbolisms for it, and there's the geometry for it, and there's special words, advanced words to describe these kinds of energy centers and these kinds of things and these kinds of dimensional planes of existence. So our oversoul connection to all that is, so the Earth Star chakra is connected to the oversoul, is connected to the quantum physics, quantum entanglement, quantum mechanics. The Earth Star chakra is connected to all the other dimensional planes of existence, and we are too. So when we anchor down the higher dimensional planes knowledge, the wisdom from our oversoul, from God source energy, the invisible intelligence of all that is, our Godhead, the Most High, this advanced wisdom that is meant to be anchored down within our vessel, down into the Earth Star chakra. This brings in mass amounts of higher dimensional timelines of existence. The energies from the higher Elohim, from angelic realms, from the angelic realm, Elohim, God source energy, is meant to work through each and every one of us to redeem our inner health, the earth's health, and all that exists in this world. This is the power that we have that they wanted to withhold from us. Secret societies, they know how energy works, and this is how they have managed to indoctrinate us away from this information, indoctrinate us into a timeline of existence where people are only existing in their lower chakra system, and then disconnect, even while they're only in their lower chakra system, which is their solar plexus, their sacral, and their root. Basically, when people are over sexualized and in drugs and alcohol, they're stuck in their root chakra and their sacral chakra, and they're depleting their life force energy out of these energy centers, and their prana energy and their life force energy isn't able to work its way up the whole chakra system to connect to the higher chakras, to anchor down that wisdom from the higher dimensional planes into this physical vessel, down into the Earth Star chakra. We can't do that when people are ignorantly stuck in their first two chakras, and then the rest of their energy system is blocked and imbalanced. So this is the cure. When we get to the root cause of the problem, which is all energy, and this can and will be a therapeutic process to redeem the human race from the inside out. Because as we know, the human race, the core issue is a psychological issue. And that psychological issue, I feel, to go deeper than that, is an energetic imbalance. That when we restore the root cause, which is the bringing us back to our true origins, to our connection to our divinity, to the Most High, and the divinity working through our energy center, our energy centers and our whole chakra system, to redeem itself from the inside out, to bring us deliverance from the inside out, to deliver us out of the dark principalities of this realm, to deliver us out of the stuckness of the lower chakra energy system, because people are stuck. They're stuck in their low vibrational ways because they're unaware of this side of life, and they're not taking accountability for this side of life. There's some really good people that are meant to, we're all earth angels and meant to redeem ourselves to a higher vibrational state of existence, a higher vibrational standard and way of being from the inside out. But we have some really good people stuck in addiction of alcohol and drugs and making mistakes that they wouldn't otherwise make if they had this awareness and held themselves accountable to how simple it really is to change your life around from the inside out. And I'm no one to judge, and I'm not perfect, and I have many things to work on. But this, I know for a fact that if we have this wisdom more out there and people holding themselves accountable to this side of life, we would see many people restoring themselves from the inside out sooner than later. And we will see a shift in humanity at an accelerated rate. This is what God puts in my heart to transmit to as many people as possible. And please spread the word like wildfire. Send this message to this video to as many people as possible. Please like the video because it does help the algorithm. I don't care to be known. I care for this wisdom to spread to as many people as possible. So it's not about me. It's more about the wisdom. And clicking like helps this wisdom get to many other people. That's how the algorithm works. So subscribe if you haven't already, so you can get the messages and ring the bell for any new messages that I post. So we have to start from the bottom and train ourselves. We have to retrain ourselves. We have to reprogram ourselves as much as possible, as frequent as possible, through the times that we're living in today, now more than ever, seriously. So cleanse yourself, please. Activate yourself. It's a process. It's a lifelong journey. It's not a short run. It is a marathon. So I will continue to talk about different angles of this subject to help assist people's reawakening processes as much as possible to the best of my ability, based on what I've overcome myself already and what I've come to understand in the revelations and enlightening information that God has implanted in me and I have activated within me, and along with information that I have brought together from things that I've learned in my journey, life lessons, information that I have learned in schooling, and life lessons brought together and activating what's embedded within my soul. So all those three things connected, I continue to have more revelations, and I really encourage people to tap into their soul revelations, because every single one of us has some sort of special information that's meant to change the world. As we see in Nikola Tesla and Einstein, the internet didn't exist, and they may have learned from books and things and life lessons, but they ended up having a special, unique information that came to them uniquely for them, tailored for them. And that's the same thing for us. We have unique information meant for each and every one of us, that is tailored to each and every one of us, that is meant to advance humanity. So I'm sharing bits and pieces of the channelings that I have had and my life experiences in my previous videos, and along with information that I've learned from books and educating myself. But again, those outside things are helpful, but it's nothing like the information that comes out of your soul and the information that comes from the Most High. This is how Nikola Tesla figured out what he figured out, because he tapped into the invisible intelligence of all that is, and he received unique guidance and information. So I encourage everyone to tap into your unique guidance and being counseled by the Most High, because you have some special information that's meant to revolutionize this world and this realm. And this is why I finally have gotten the courage to speak out, because I know all the information that I have thus far is meant to help the revolution that's unfolding. And I do not share everything. A lot of it I do keep to myself, because if it gets into the wrong hands, and the wrong people get a hold of it, then it can be misused. So I do withhold a lot of this information because God tells me to withhold it. But the information that is kind of already known, and I'm advancing some of the information that's already known. I have shared bits and pieces of it so far in my videos. So again, if you have special information, not all of it is meant to be shared. Okay, I do emphasize that I'm not sharing everything, because we have to protect and preserve this information. Not everybody's meant to have it. Like these people in the elite, they use this information over the masses. And this is the information that we need to get from them and use it the opposite way of they're using it. The way they're using it is they're controlling energy through sorcery and black magic methods and magician methods, and misusing it. They're working with the dark principalities of this realm and misusing knowledge. So we need to inform ourselves and get the knowledge from education, from books, but also get the knowledge from the Most High and keep it to yourself and use it to create the change that's meant to happen in this world through the principalities, because we are light, we are God-seeing beings, we are angelic beings that are meant to push forward with the knowing and win every battle we need to win through this knowledge that God has embedded within us, and God gives us and counsels us and guides us and assists us in winning every single battle we need to win throughout the war in the principalities. And because we are living during a time where they're doing a lot of psychological tricks on us, and like a lot of things that you see, you have to be weary and mindful to not believe everything that you hear and see. But the guidance that comes from the Most High, when you know that it's in a righteous vibration, you can trust that for sure. But everything you see and hear this day, you can't trust. You have to be really careful, because as we know, Elon Musk, he's controlling AI and wants control of AI because he wants to have people fall into believing the false narratives that they make look and sound real, but it's not. And so you need to trust in your connection to the divine. You need to trust in your spiritual discernment more than you trust in people and situations and things in this realm, because these trickster spirits that are trying to work through humans, they're at an all-time high, as we know. So I need to emphasize that. Trust in your connection to the Most High. Trust in yourself and your spiritual discernment that comes from the Most High. And tap into your energy centers and free yourself from the inside out, because this spiritual slavery that's happening right now is because it's a psychological thing. This is why it's a psychological war. This is why they want people believing false narratives, because then they can more easily control people's decision making. When you are living out of a false narrative that looks real, they're able to easily control our psychological states. This is why it's so dangerous. Like, really, if we think about it, the dangers of succumbing to psychological tricks and So it's important to cleanse our energy centers, so we'll be less likely to fall for any psychological tricks, any spiritual tricks of sorcery or wizardry or, energy manipulation, because that's what they do to control people's psychological state. So don't let that be you. Please open your third eye, open, rebalance, cleanse, and protect your energy centers, every single one of your energy centers. And please enlighten yourself and learn the knowledge you need to learn to do that. If you don't know it already, I'll share some of this information in my upcoming videos. But it's very straightforward, and it's not difficult at all. It's a matter of having daily practices for it and being as consistent as possible in these daily practices. And it might not seem like it makes a difference, but it does to your inner world, so that you don't fall for any sort of psychological tricks that they put out in the media, or, any sorcery or curse that someone would try to put over you, because you're constantly cleansing and protecting your energy. So you're less likely, you're not susceptible to falling into any tricks, traps, or suppression and oppression that's coming from the outside in, because you're constantly course correcting your inner world through your energy centers. So I think I've emphasized that enough. Please do pray for your loved ones. Pray for your goals, your possessions, your pets, your family, your friends, humanity, and the planet itself. Pray over your life, your mind, body, and soul, because it does count now more than ever, as I've been saying in my most recent videos, and I will continue to say for the rest of my life, because this is not ending anytime soon, and we know that. But even throughout all the trials and tribulations, we must not fall into fear. As I said, the formula to overcoming the things that we need to overcome in the times we're living in today is by consistently working on our inner world. Do your affirmations and your visualizations within your meditation, because it is a powerful tool for transformation, to bring new innovations and manifestations into this realm, which is meant for us. Our eternal soul, our soul love, and our faith and our knowing is significant to our identity. It's significant to our transformations. Our soul love, our faith, and our knowing that we are souls existing in a human form, equipped with all that we need, our divinity, our connection to the invisible intelligence, the Most High, God source energy embedded within us, to bring deliverance to ourselves, to bring deliverance into the world, and to overcome the battle in the principalities, because this is irrelevant, heaven-sent testament, and it's personal, and it's a collective ascension that's happening in the times that we're living in today. So tune into that knowing, and remember to tune into the Bible verse, I am confident I will see the Lord's goodness while I am here in the land of the living. Psalms 27:13. I am confident I will see the goodness of God in the land of the living. And when we consistently tune into that knowing, even throughout all the battles that we need to overcome, like the battles that are happening in the White House and the battles in the principalities, we need to stick into the inner knowing and that vision. Remember, even if you don't believe that we live in a third density holographic matrix simulation, this cube is an example of it's holographic. So they created this holographic artwork, right? And think about it. They have technology that can create, like, for example, the way they created this and the way that they create customized tubes that go for plumbing. It's a machine. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but do your own research. It's a machine that with a laser, it starts to create the pipe into a solid form. It came from nothing and turned into something, and then it's a whole entire customized pipe in this realm. But it came from a laser making material solid. This is really far out the reality that we actually live in, and just because we can't see it with our eyes, we can't perceive it with our eyes, doesn't mean that it's not true and that it's not there. And so again, we are in third density, we're in the 3D realm, and we are 12-dimensional beings. We have highly advanced technology within us that majority of people don't know how to use, and this is why I'm trying to break it down in a digestible way for people to tap into. This holographic, there's Christ in there. I don't know if you could see it in my other video. It showed a little bit better, but I'm trying to keep it here longer so that you can maybe pause the video and see it. This holographic figure inside there is, we are in a third density holographic matrix simulation. We know that the matrix is made up of numbers. If you ever seen the movie Inception or Matrix, or along with many other movies that talk about basically people time traveling and jumping into other dimensional planes of existence and all these far out things, and some of it is sci-fi, but a lot of it is actually actual truth. And I'm not saying to believe movies. Go to the facts like the scientists do. Go based on facts, not movies. But anyhow, we live in a third density. This means that we see this solid. We are solid. Everything here in this realm is solid. It's solid. But when we tap into our other dimensional planes of existence, we start to perceive things in a different way past the third density dimensional wavelength of existence that we're in now. Because we're in a third dimensional wavelength of existence, it's solid. It's solid because we're in third density. But when we tap into the fact that we are in a third density holographic matrix simulation, now don't treat life like a game. Don't treat life like it's virtual reality. We don't want people doing that. You have to take life seriously. If you put yourself in danger, you can potentially get hurt and die. We don't want people treating this like virtual reality. Just because we're saying that it's a third density holographic matrix simulation doesn't mean that you shouldn't treat life as fragile as it is. It's not a game, okay? So, but we need to come back to this inner truth of what we're really experiencing here so that we can better free ourselves from the inside out with this knowledge that they don't want us to have. So when we know that, when we envision, go to my page, Soul Love Energy Reawakening, and you will see the visual better, and how our electromagnetic field of our heart goes out further, and how we live in a holographic, universe and third density holographic matrix simulation here on Earth. And our energy centers is a holographic, okay? You can't perceive it with your eyes. Just because you can't perceive it with your eyes doesn't mean that it's not here. They're energy centers that are invisible, that are connected to the invisible intelligence of all that is, which is the Most High. And because our energy centers are invisible, and our torus field is invisible, our vortex field, our torus field, our electromagnetic energy field with our energy centers, it's invisible. But just because it's invisible doesn't mean that it's not there. It's here, and it's always here. This is why it's important for us to snap out of the amnesia and wake up to our responsibility and accountability to tapping into the holographic part of ourself, the holographic torus field, our holographic energy centers, our holographic energy field, our torus energy field, our inner vortex. And when we tap into this part of ourselves, and we bring down healing from the higher realms, the higher dimensional wavelengths into our energy field, this is how we upgrade ourselves from the inside out, on a molecular level, on an atomic level, on a cellular level. And science is barely catching up to what I have figured out. And I'm not saying that from the ego. Like I said, this trendy thing of people realizing the importance of bringing your heart and your brain coherence, it's fairly new. It's been out, but it hasn't been as trending until I started to follow scientists. My page, God called me to create that page and put it together after I had just overcame a dark night of the soul. And then, well, several dark nights of the soul, and I woke up in the soul, and God gave me that information and told me to specifically put it together the way that I put it together, to get to transmit a message through visually. And of course, when you read some of the stuff, but like the quotes of the greats that came before us, and you bring the pieces together, and you get a bigger picture of our interconnectedness of all that is. And this is nothing new under the sun. This is an ancient wisdom that is embedded within us, in our DNA and in our cells. I know that for me personally, for sure, for a fact, because like I said, I just follow the guidance of the Most High. And when I put that together, and I felt like it wasn't getting as much traction as it should, even till this day, why is it that this enlightening information, people that are idols that don't even have the information I have more of a following than I have? And I have information that's meant to change the world, and people who are just putting garbage on social media have a larger following than me. That's absurd. Anyways, I don't really care, as long as the information reaches the people that it needs to reach. That's all that matters to me. And so I felt called, like 3 years in, after I seen the page wasn't getting traction, I started to go and follow specific people, scientists specifically, and I noticed that they grabbed onto my information and the information I put together on that page. And then they're now you see them talking about it, and none of them obviously will give me credit for it, because this is the time we're living in. People don't give credit where credit is due. But all that matters to me really is that they did see it, and they did decide to look into it. And like Gregg Biden is one of the scientists that is now, along with Joe Dispenza, they're talking about this information on a bigger level, which I am eternally thankful for. Because I purposely followed their pages for this to happen, because my page doesn't have as much of a following as theirs, but the information that I wanted to get out is getting out. So that's all that matters to me, really. So please spread the word as much as possible. Share this video with as many people as possible, like I said. And one day I pray to talk to Gregg Biden in person, or I don't know if I'm saying his name right, or Joe Dispenza. And I pray that I can be a part of their studies that they do, and they can put me on a brain machine so that they can understand what I've come to understand, and that science is barely catching up to. So again, your insight matters just as much as everyone else's. Just because you think you're a small person, it doesn't mean that you don't make a difference in the whole. You definitely do, and you always will. Every single one of us will always make a difference, even if it's a small scale, medium scale, or big scale. And I intend to create much more change than I already am now. Like I said, I intentionally followed those pages for this information to get out there more. And I feel a sense of inner pride. I feel proud in a very humble way, but I feel proud that I listen to God's guidance. And even if my name is not a part of it, or I'm getting credit for certain things, that's okay, because God knows my heart, and God knows the work that I'm doing for the collective on an inner level. And God knows how far I've come and the inner battles that I have won throughout all of this, my whole life journey, because every single one of us, we always have something to be facing and overcoming, and it's all part of the journey. So we have to embrace it, and remember, when you feel low, we have the Most High. So if you are in a part of your reawakening stage and phase where you feel like you're in the breaking, remember, in the breaking, like an egg that has hatched open, in the breaking is new life. Allow God's love to fill you up from inside if you feel broken, or if you feel like you're in the breaking of a metamorphosis. Tune into God's light and God's frequency, and invoke God's light and love into your vessel, and have it fill you up and replace any low vibrational thoughts or feelings, and have it help you repair yourself from the inside out, because that's how powerful and glorious and magnificent and healing God's energy is. And it is available to us in every second of the day. God is omnipotent, omnipresent throughout the whole multiverse, throughout the whole quantum physics, throughout the whole quantum mechanics, throughout the whole quantum entanglement, throughout all of life, throughout all of your energy centers. God is present here and now and will always be, but you need to tune into that. You need to do your inner work, and you need to invoke God's presence and God's love within you, because God is here and never left. We just need to continuously shake ourselves up and wake out of the amnesia. When we wake up, sometimes we fall back into a state of amnesia, but we just need to continuously shake ourselves up with God's presence, and constantly remind ourselves that God is never going to leave. It's a matter of us staying consistent with God's frequency, with God's love, with God's guidance, with God's counsel, with God's cleansing, and with God's protection. So I will leave this one here, and God bless you all. Remember to pray every single day of your life, and within your innermost thoughts and externally, because our words have power. We know this. Our words out into the field of infinite possibilities. This is how we change the trajectory of humanity outside of the vibrational timeline of famine. The way that we overcome the dark principalities of this world to not end up in the timeline of famine is all of us standing in our spiritual authority and weeding out the dark hidden agendas of this world, weeding out the dark principalities of this realm through the angelic realm, through our energy healing, through our energy work. Our work as light workers and as God-seeing beings, as children of God, our work on an energetic level counts now more than ever. And I really needed to emphasize that in this video clearly, because I've said this a million times, I feel like, and I will never stop saying it, because just because you know it and I know it, we all need these reminders for the love of God. Because I love God so much, I will forever say the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So God bless you all. I will talk to you in the next video.